Slides!
Okay. All right, everyone heard us yelling slides? All right, thank you, Emily, for recording this. We're going to be using this audio theme in this talk. So, wait, I'll play it again.
Slides!
Good point.
So you want to use a library, but it isn't available yet in Perl.
So you pick XS, right?
Bad idea.
So we're going to take an example of something that I did. In 2013, I started writing this library called XS Fun just to play and learn Perl, and it was using a library to write bindings just so I have a chance to really get to know XS, and it was really fun, but it's also an example of not a good idea, and we're going to hopefully show why.
We need to take a lesson from Perl 6, and they've got this thing called native Perl.
Native call.
Sorry, native call. That's really just FFI.
But we have FFI in Perl 5 too. So Perl 6 has it, Perl 5 has it. We actually have several FFI libraries, not just one.
Perl 5 secret sauce is FFI Platypus. It's a libFFI library that I wrote.
And we're going to show you how to use it with a very simple example, specifically rewriting our XS code. So we're going to take the tutorial that I started with this binding that we wrote, and we're going to write it with less code. We're going to write it in less time, and we want it to be just as fast. Specifically, we're using the ChromaPrint library. It's a C++ library that allows you to take, say, an audio file, for example, and to then give you a signature, like a fingerprint of that audio file. And that's what I used for XS Fun.
So this is the actual code. We use the libraries Platypus and checklib. We create an instance of the FFI object. We need to tell it which library that we're interested in. So we use findlib, and that comes from checklib. We need to tell it what the name of the library is, so we do that. Yeah. And so the next step is ChromaPrint has a header file which gives us like the functions that we're interested in that we want to create bindings for. That gives us like the function names, the arguments that they take, the return value type. So now we can use that FFI object we created to create some functions. And we do that with attach, which creates a function. It takes the name of the function and the argument types. It returns, and the return type. When you're using opaque is just this thing that we don't really care about. It's something implemented in C. We just care that it's an address. And that's already one function, and we can do free as well, which works in a very similar way. Get version, which it tells the version of the library. And now we can already start using this. We have these functions available. We can, get the ChromaPrint object. We can print out the version number, and we can free that so that we don't leak any memory.
No, go ahead.
So, and we wrap this up, or went up ahead. We wrap this up into a nice little Moose object-oriented layer. We use path_tiny to read in files. We create the instance of the object with new. We use start to tell it the sample rate and the channel, the number of audio channels. And then we feed in the data. We have a file. We slurp it in, and we use raw because this is bytes. We want binary to the C. We call finish to let it know that we're done, and now we can print out the fingerprint hash. We can print out the C pointer. We can print out all of the fingerprint items, and it looks really pretty. This is the most important part. This is what we're interested in, is the fingerprint hash, but we have this other stuff too. We have the pointer, and we have the items in the fingerprint.
So this leads us to how long did it take to write this? I wrote XS Fun in 2013. September, I think, is the first commit, which means that it's been quite a bit of time. I did not reach this point, I should tell you. I can get the version number from the library, that's it. So we wrote this. So this took us 20 minutes. We basically talked about it last night on the boat, and then today we kind of played with it a little bit, and that's it, we were done. So what are the conclusions that we want to leave you with?
FFI is simple.
It is doable.
It's clean.
And it's way more fun than XS for writing library bindings.
FFI libraries is for libraries for Perl today.
And if you're interested in finding out more, you can go to Metacpan and you can find FFI Platypus that Graham wrote. And you can also look at this issue. This issue collects, we want to collect libraries that we want to port. We already marked off Chrome print. So if you have an additional idea, any others, just join that. And I added one slide for this. So.
Try it!